All right, back with another 5 questions with Sean Bormet. We're coming off a split weekend, lost to Nebraska on Friday night, bounced back with a nice win against Indiana. What were some of the big takeaways from the weekend?
Consistency. We have been emphasizing consistency, and pretty much since we started this Big Ten dual season. From Maryland to Northwestern to Minnesota to Nebraska to Indiana, and when we're wrestling hard from start to finish with fundamentals and great consistency in how we're stepping on the mat, we're getting good results. So, just continue to emphasize consistency. I don't feel like we had a real consistent performance in our positions, in our intensity on Friday night against Nebraska, which was sort of not what we were expecting. After we had an incredible week of training, the guys were dialed in, and the training's been great week to week. So that's one of the sort of the things we're trying to figure out is what's translating, and what seems to be the gap in a few of these performances where we just have not seen the overall consistency in all the areas we're sort of looking at. But definitely great to see. We had a great mat workout on Saturday night. Talked about the opportunity again on Sunday, and great to see a good rebound. Had some good matches, and stayed sort of dialed in the key positions. We had a couple of third periods I would have liked to seen us finish a lot harder, but again, definitely progress, and that's sort of what we're looking at right now. I mean, we got four dual meets left at this point in the Big Ten dual season. Eyes are starting to get really dialed into the postseason, so consistency and these key fundamentals are critical.
Cam Catcherbone got his first dual win at 149. He had made his dual debut stepping in at 57 the week before. What do you like what you see out of Cam this year? How's his progress been?
Attitude about training, and certainly attitude about competing. He is, these dates have been great. He really wanted to compete in Las Vegas when he had an opportunity. He was so excited about that tournament. It's really like his big tournament of the year within this redshirt year. So, same thing when we were sort of in a pinch at Minnesota, and he couldn't have been more excited to step up. He weighed in at 149, but couldn't be more excited to step up and wrestle against a top 10 ranked guy at 157. So he was really excited. He loves competing, loves challenging himself. And then again, great opportunity on Sunday, Indiana at home. I thought he wrestled a really good match. Again, I think he's sort of finding his rhythm between that 2-hour weigh-in and then having your body ready to compete through those 7 minutes. And it's just because he's not doing it with frequency. I mean, he hasn't had a lot. They only get the 5 dates, so the frequency of competition and making weight isn't there. But he really he did a good job keeping his composure and sort of fighting through that match. So we got 1 date left with him, and I know he's constantly asking when he's going to get to use that date. So I love the attitude, and he's getting better every week.
Brock's in the same situation, Mantanona with 1 date left. Bo used up his dates last year. How valuable is it for those freshmen during their redshirt season to kind of get some of these big matches in?
Yeah, these 5 dates we get to use they're incredibly valuable for the team, especially when you have seasons like this where you all of a sudden you get a bunch of injuries and you have some depth issues. So to be able to utilize these red shirts and use these dates is critical for the team, but also in terms of their development. I think it's really important because they get to compete in some of these bigger matches in front of big crowds and where there's a lot of hype and Big Ten network. So they get really excited, but they also get to experience the whole thing. And it also helps them in terms of their training when they're training hard every week and they do get to step on the mat and get these tests. It really sort of solidifies that the areas they're working on are really clicking, or they got to get back and dig in and figure out a couple different problem areas and areas of concentration. So overall, it's great. I would love to see this rule continue to evolve where it doesn't have to just be a freshman redshirt. Because right now we have Hayden Walter. He's in red shirt as a sophomore, and he doesn't get these 5 dates.
Yeah.
So I love the rule, and we just need to expand it to every year.
Big rivalry duel coming up on Saturday, Ohio State. What do you want to see? What are you looking for?
Consistency. So I know the guys are fired up. Obviously, it's big rival throughout the school and every sport. So always exciting. Ohio State's got a really strong team this year, and I think the rivalry's been really good over the last 8, 10, 12 years since I've been back here. So I like a lot of the matchups. I'm really excited to see some of these matchups and how some of these matches will unfold. Just some great competition for our guys. Another great test in terms of what we're doing and how we're starting to move towards the postseason. So I know we should have a great crowd on Saturday. I know there's already been a lot of tickets pre-sold, and definitely looking forward to competing against the Buckeyes in front of a big Michigan fan base.
All right, ending with a quick club update. We had a bunch of guys medal out in Bulgaria. We had Austin Gomez win down in Mexico. So what's going on with those guys and where are they at?
Yeah, great weekend of competition. Austin won. It was a national tournament in Mexico up at 70 kilos, so wrestled great. Alex Daringer had Will Lewan, Matt Feinsilver, Mason Paris over in Bulgaria at the Dan Koloff tournament, and guys wrestled great. We had Will Lewan won a gold medal, Matt Feinsilver got a bronze, Mason Paris won a gold medal. So great first coaching debut for Coach Daringer. He's doing an excellent job. Now, basically Mason and Matt Feinsilver and Coach Daringer are over in Croatia. Will Lewan's on his way back, and then Alec Pantelio and Austin Gomez will leave Sunday, and they'll be heading to Croatia for a ranking tournament over there next weekend. So a lot going on with the club guys, international scene, and guys are doing great.
All right, Sean, thank you. Go Blue.
Go Blue.